Hello and welcome to my channel. This channel is the Great Big Money Experiment, and this is the very first video, and it's just to give you an introduction into the channel. So, why do we have this channel? As I've been watching videos on YouTube about early retirement, you always get comments about how this isn't possible for low income earners. You have to earn a lot of money to be able to retire early. And just in general, you get comments bashing the early retirement. So I want to shatter the preconceptions about early retirement because I support the principles of early retirement. So let me try and prove that this is possible to retire early by offering my life as a test tube. So how will this work? I will continue my life as normal. I will track my spending and my net worth and share these figures with you on a monthly basis, I think. Bi-weekly is too often and monthly just seems like a good interval. I will share my knowledge and tools that I use in this pursuit of retiring early. So let's talk a little bit about me. I'm new to Canada, came here in October of 2018. I'm about 27, 28 years old. I have a bachelor's degree, but I do not work in that field. My most recent employment has been in retail. I was taught about money from a young age by my parents, and I'm very grateful for this. I wanted to further my knowledge about investments and finances. So I studied the first level of the CFA, that's Chartered Financial Analyst, and wrote that exam in December of, what was it, 2016, and passed. And my goal is to retire by 45 if stuff goes wrong. Hopefully, I can retire way before 60. I'm currently engaged to be married. Unfortunately, I don't have my most recent figures of spending, but I will get back to tracking my spending and sharing it with you on a monthly basis. So this figure is the figures that I'm going to share with you is from June of 2019. Currently, it's May of 2020. But this will just give you an idea of what my figures will look like going forward and the tool I use. If you want me to share this tool with you, just let me know in the comments. So I use Excel to track my spending. And in this first part, I just have a data dump of all the transactions that we incur. I have the responsibility, whether it's an expense that is only for me, such as my part of the rent or my hobbies, or I have the responsibility set to both. That's something that both me and my fiance contribute to, such as food and fuel for the car or insurance for the car. So type in either both or Mr. X under the responsibility. If my Mrs. were to use this for her tracking as well, she could put Mrs. Y in here. Paid by, it is pretty straightforward. Who paid for this? Usually this is for something such as insurance. It's the responsibility of both, but I paid for it. Then we'd split that expense into the two columns. Another example is maybe if we went out for dinner, but the missus paid for it, then that's how we would put this into the tracker, and it would split the numbers. After you've dumped all your data, it gives you the actual spending totals for me and the missus. Household spend is expenses that we both share in, and personal spend is stuff that she doesn't share in, and that was a large figure for that month. I have a breakdown for myself for the detail of my spending, and it's broken into these categories. So these categories over here are also found here. When you do your data dump, you have to categorize it, can pick it from the drop-down list. The reason there's a drop-down list is if you slightly misspell something here, then this tracker, because it uses some ifs in Excel, it might not count booze if it's spelled with an S instead of a Z. So these categories and these categories match. And this is what I spent in June of 2019. My biggest expenses by percentage was rent. Let's see, education. No idea what that was on, which is a bad thing. I should have kept better notes in this column to know exactly what I spent my money on. And then 10% on my hobbies and 8% on food. So I know what my biggest expenses are. Okay, so let's look at my current net worth. In my current account, I have about $390. I have $86 of credit card debt. I have 9,200 in my savings account, 5,000 and almost 700 in self-directed investing, about $10,000 that I invested in a mutual fund through a financial advisor. And that gives us a total or a net worth of $25,183. So the next video will probably be an update and a little bit more accurate tracking of my spending. So keep an eye out for that.